Welcome back, guys. This is now the second video that we're going to go over. In Muay Thai, we have weapons. We have our fists, we have our kicks, we have elbows, and we have knees. Today we're going to go over our jab and our cross, all right? So again, I'm a righty, which means my left foot is going to be in the front, and my power side, which is my right, is going to be in the back. All right. Some of the things that I want you to remember, right, from the last video, we discussed our stance. And no matter what strike I'm throwing, whether it be a kick, an elbow, a knee, a punch, I always end up back in my stance no matter what. So some of the details I want you to remember from last video was we had our hands by our face. When we throw our two straight punches, a jab and cross, you want to make sure that your hips move. You don't want just arms coming straight out like this. You're never going to generate power, all right? You want to make sure when you throw a jab cross, your body's turning. Everything's straight. Notice when I do throw my punch, my fist is behind my elbow is behind my shoulder, and my shoulder is behind my other shoulder. When I throw a jab, everything's straight in line. My chin is tucked behind my shoulder. My right hand stays up by my eyebrow. Okay? I never just come over here like this, just moving my arm. I make sure I turn my hip and I punch straight. Again, my opponent is in front of me. I don't throw my jab across my body. I'm not fighting somebody to the right of me. I want to make sure it's a straight line. So if I'm throwing my jab, I turn my body. And when I get that turn, it's going to set me up to throw even more power with my right hand, which is my cross. And the same thing. When I throw my cross, I can't just let my lower body not turn and just move my arm, right? As my jab is coming back to my face, my cross is coming out. And you notice a really big important detail here is my back foot, the heel comes off the ground, which makes my hips rotate. When I first started my stance, my right hip is my back hip. When I throw a jab, my right hip is still my back hip. But while I finish this cross and I turn and I rotate, now my right hip is my front hip, my left hip is my back hip, all right? You really need to start learning to rotate your body and not just swing with just your arms. Everything, as I said, comes from the ground up. And the way that we do that is, you notice when I throw that right hand, my back foot is going to pivot, all right? Because it does pivot, my heel comes off the ground, but I need a connection with the mat. I can't lean so far forward that my foot comes off the ground. So even though my heel comes up, my toe still stays attached to the mat, all right? As my heel comes down and I pull my hip back, my hand comes right back to my face. All right, so if I'm throwing my jab cross, it's straight out, right hand is up by my eyebrow, all right? I'm gonna bring my jab back as my cross comes out, heel comes up, my left hand now comes back to my face, and now as I pull my right heel down, my right hand comes back to my face, and I'm gonna go right back into my stance. And I come again, jab, cross. As the heel comes down, I bring the hand right back to my face. Punches come out straight. Never want to see jab, cross. You're hitting the target right in front of you. Hands are always up. Chin is always tucked behind your shoulder. All right? And in order to make it a combination, you notice it's not that I have to do it fast, but I do things simultaneously. If I do a jab and then brought it back, and then threw a cross and then brought it back, it's not a combination. It's separate strikes. So in order to make it a combination, you notice when I throw my jab, as my jab hand is coming back, my cross is coming out, okay? That's what makes it a combination. Again, I always end in the same position I started. So right here, my heel comes back down to the mat, my right hand comes right back to my face, and I'm ready to defend or throw strikes, all right? If you haven't been in the gym yet, we hope to see you guys soon. Enjoy.